Hello, my name's Ben.
And my name's Josh.
Welcome back to FPL Graduates and welcome back to another video where we're going to be talking about our transfer targets for the upcoming game week. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a bit of a strange one. It's a blank game week. Some teams aren't playing, but we're looking forward to it nevertheless. And I think we've got a few transfer targets that you should be keeping your eye on.
So coming up first this week is going to be none other than KIERAN TRIPPIER, a really high-owned defender at the minute, and a lot of people are looking towards him on their Game Week 8 wildcards. I think even if you aren't wildcarding, he is pretty much essential to have. Newcastle's fixtures are really, really good going forward, so you should definitely hop on at least one of their defenders. Obviously, Trippier not really been getting forward too much this season. Only goal came against Manchester City, if you remember, in that 3-3 games. However, Newcastle have kept 50% clean sheets so far this season, and it was not against the easiest of opposition either.
Yeah, I anticipate that Kieran Trippier could do quite well in their upcoming fixture against Bournemouth. The majority of Bournemouth's chances conceded have been off their left-back side, which is where Kieran Trippier operates, obviously on the right. So I think, you know, in these upcoming free fixtures, that Trippier could do really, really well. So next up, we've got James Maddison, and as you can see, his fixtures are sensational, and that is why we've got him in. His underlying statistics over 2022 as a whole have been sublime, and I do but genuinely believe that he can get into some really good form over the next few fixtures. Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth are great fixtures to have, and I think, you know, Leicester can't get any worse. They can only improve from here. I think Maddison is going to be at the forefront of their improvement.
Yeah, I think even that Tottenham away game this week is still not a bad fixture for Leicester. Sort of plays into their hands with the way that Tottenham play. They're able to counter, and Maddison's really good at doing that and starting those counter-attacks. Good at set pieces. Those three goal involvements came in Game Week 1 to Game Week 3 as well. So he has gone, you'd maybe say, off the boil in the last 3 weeks, but I think Leicester as a whole haven't been a great team. When they are clicking, though, this man is at the heart of that. And I think we will see them pick up some good points against some lower opposition and see Leicester return to the mid-table, because they have had some tough games so far this season, Leicester. But yeah, really low owned as well, 3.6% ownership. And he's got Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth in his next three. I would definitely try and hop on him. So coming up next, another £8 million midfielder who hasn't hit the heights that we expected this season. It's JARROD Bowen. Obviously, West Ham have had that Conference League where he's been scoring and obviously took the penalty. I think a lot of people think that Bowen will be their first choice penalty taker. It's hard to tell because there's a lot of players missing them in that West Ham squad. Again, 3.4% ownership, so really low owned. He hasn't got a goal involvement so far this season, but his underlying statistics are similar to Maddison's in terms of his XG and XA. What's your thoughts on him, Ben?
Yeah, it genuinely could be a really good asset. Again, very similar to James Maddison in the fact that sort of West Ham and Leicester haven't sort of had the best results this season. I definitely think West Ham haven't played badly this season. The results just haven't fallen their way. And I think JARROD Bowen's expected goal involvement will improve. And as a result, he will get more returns. I do think we see at least 2 returns in the next 4 fixtures. So it may be worth sort of looking at him potentially if you're on the wild card or looking to wild card next week. Definitely one for your considerations. You know, the next sort of 3 or 4 coming up are very decent fixtures too. Okay, so next up, we have got a 1.5% owned forward, Brennan Johnson, as a differential option up front and potentially an enabler in your team. If you're looking to go for free premiums in your team, such as Haaland, Kane, and De Bruyne, Brennan Johnson could be a cut value player to bring in. He has 1 goal and 3 assists so far this season, has been underperforming his XG statistics. So I imagine that he'll sort of, over the next few games, do really well. Fulham at home, Leicester away, Aston Villa at home in the next 3 fixtures. Those are 3 defences that, you know, have been targeted by FPL managers so far this season. And like we've seen in the last few weeks, Nottingham Forest tend to have games that just have loads and loads of goals.
Yeah, it's the one thing with Forest is that you don't really know where the goals are coming from. It's just the issue. Johnson is on penalties though, which is a massive plus. To have a penalty take for less than £6 million in your team is really, really good. And I expect Forest to sort of attack these next few weeks with some potential relegation candidates alongside them in and amongst their fixtures. So yeah, really interesting option. 5th and final transfer target this week is, of course, Aleksandar Mitrovic. 6.9 million now as of recording. He's pretty much in everyone's wildcard drafts. It's him and Haaland, both the highest for XG so far this season. Really, really good stats. He's only blanked in one game this season. That was game week 2 against Wolves, where he missed a penalty. So he could have even returned in every game this season. I think it's a no-brainer given that Fulham's fixtures as well. Forest and Bournemouth again in their next 4 fixtures. Really, really good games. They're facing Newcastle. That could be tough. But West Ham as well, not necessarily been the best defensively this season. Is Mitrovic in your team, Ben, or are you going to have to wait until you wildcard?
Yeah, well, I can get him in my team for this week with my 2 free transfers. And the one thing to note is Fulham have had the hardest sort of opening 6 games, 6-7 games of the season. And Mitrovic has returned in every single game, bar one, where he had a penalty and it was saved. So I do think Mitrovic is a force to be reckoned with against anyone in the league. So, if you own him for game week 9 and Newcastle at home and he scores, he could ruin a lot of other FPL managers' days if they have a double up in the defence. I think Mitrovic is that danger man that could ruin any clean sheet at a given moment.
So that wraps up our transfer targets for blank game week 7. Let us know what your predicament is. Are you having to wildcard? Can you survive with making transfers? Or are you even on a free hit this early into the season? It's been a bit crazy. We weren't expecting it, but that's what life of FPL managers are. You just have to go with the roles and keep powering on.
Yeah, we haven't had a normal season in years and nothing is going to change with FPL. But yeah, as always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you guys
later. Have a good game week, everyone.